Hello, I'm Nicolai, and in this film we're going to draw the cobra like this one here. This is part 1 of how to draw a cobra, and it's filmed one-on-one. So no speed time in it, anything. You can draw along, and I wish you all the luck in drawing this magnificent animal. Here I start out with the drawing, and in the left side you can already see I've drawn one already, so you can compare. And what we start with is an egg-like shape. Over this egg I draw in the line of the way the snake is going to look. I also place in the cheekbone. Now from this cheekbone there is a very fluid line going down towards the rest of the body. As you can see, it starts out quite broad and then it closes in on each other. What I also place in is the actual body of the snake. It comes down from the cheek line. Then I put in the right flap of this dangerous cobra. I think the flap can be a little bit broader, so I simply draw it in a little bit broader. Now from the sideline I can already put in the outer edge of the top of the eye. The other eye will fall underneath the egg-like circle we've already drawn. From the sideline you can place in the mouth. I zoom in here a little bit and you can see the mouth tends to go out into a point. This is a very important line. It's the eye line, and this eye line follows up into the bridge of the nose. From these scales there is the nostril. Then I put in half a circle for the actual eye. Over the eye I place in the pupil, and you can see this is a rounded line. To flatten the nose a little bit down, I simply put in 2 little hooked lines. The scales on the top of the eyeball are rounded. Around the eyes there is space for the other scales. The scales around the mouth come out rounded from the mouth line itself. So keep these lines fluid and not straight up and down. This is the lower lip, and I already want to place in a little bit of space for the mouth where the tongue comes out. The tongue itself I give a little bit of thickness. When you have your head as good as it gets, you can get rid of the little helper lines. Now I can see the right eyeball is a bit far away, so I take this out and I simply place it just a little bit more to the other top of the eye. This is the lower part of the jaw. Now that I'm happy, I can put it in with a darker line. This is the line from the cheek to the side flap of our cobra. You can see I make the flap flatten it out by making the lines narrower and narrower. Now it's time for the line of the actual body of the snake. I try to make it look like it's flowing rather natural with the flaps of the broadness of the flaps itself, so it stands there naturally. From the eyes out, there are the first scales that are covering our top of the body of the snake. The line, the outer line, is not straight but has little carvings in them for the scales. From these little carvings, I can easily draw little lines to make it look like our snake is covered in scales. What I do then is I bend these lines to make the scales look rounded. Also on the right flap of our cobra, the line is not straight, but it has little carvings. The scales on the actual body of the snake are stretched. I simply draw very simple lines to make the scales come out of the flaps. Then from these lines I make them go stop in the middle of the body of our snake. For the right flap, the side is kind of narrow, more narrow than the left flap. I also place in the markings the cobra has, and that are very typical for them. These lines are important too. These are the lines of our shadow that is the most dark. There is no sun underneath the chin of the snake inside the flaps, so I already want to place these in. What I'm doing now is I make circles, which I do not close, It's like horse prints when they move, little irons of the horse, and the scales inside of the flaps are rather small. So I simply make these hoof markings. Underneath the line of the mouth there's also a lot of shadow, and also underneath the chin. And the lines I'm happy with, and where the most of the shadow is going on, I put in extra dark. Pupil is okay, so I place this into very dark. And I can also shade in the tongue. I hope your drawing will be successful, and in part 2 we will be shading in the whole of the snake, and we will also be filling in some surroundings to make the head pop out even better. So I hope if you are successful in this drawing, you will join me up in part 2 on how to shade in this beautiful, beautiful animal. Take care. Hope to see you in part 2.